Hi, good evening to all of you wonderful people, and welcome to Mike at Night. This is Thursday. We on usually at Thursday at around 9 o'clock. It's slightly late this evening. Well, just as we are about to go on air, we had a power outage. You know how it is. Independence, 60 years. But say what? These things do happen. We're not going to be a perfect nation, but we're not as bad as we used to be. Things getting better. And so we are thankful for all of you coming on with us this evening. We have a wonderful program for you. We're going to talk about do you think infidelity or unfaithfulness, whether it is contagious? You heard right. Is infidelity contagious? Can it pass from one person to the next? Even if you are not in it, you don't believe in it, do you think you could end up in it? We're going to talk about it, and I want today's program, if you can call me or WhatsApp me, because I want to feel you. I want to feel what your opinion is on this topic. So the telephone number, I'm going to give it one time, is 868 688 5363. That is 868 688 5363. It will be on the screen, so you could always just pick it up there and also just give us a call or WhatsApp us, or even you could call by WhatsApp also. So you could have so many different ways you can do this. Okay, so let's go for a break and we'll be right back.
Don't let the weather of the day dictate your pace. I stayed cool every time I got into my vehicle, and you can too. At Tow School Center of 31 Gaskin Bay Road, Bonaccord, they specialize in auto air conditioning with parts and services catering to your car's needs. Call and ask for tows at 660-8777 or 788-3535. Tow School Center, where a comfortable ride is a cool ride.
Okay, let me tell you that we have a program coming up. It is on procrastination. You often put off things. You put other things that are less important ahead of the things that are more important. This program is for you. If you have been starting things and not finishing it, this is for you. This is September 3rd. I'm going to ask you to go to the website even now. Make sure you register for it. Some people plan to register, procrastinate. Don't register on the day come on pass and say, oh my goodness, I wanted to really do that course. You see, you have it bad. It also affects your work, your employment, your relationship with your boss. Because if you keep putting off things, your boss is not necessarily going to think kindly towards that. That is why you've got to be able to log on. Go to www.michaelatstewart.com, register for the program. It is just $350 TT. $50 US. You're going to enjoy this one. All right. So that's just one course. We have another one. This one is free, however. How to argue properly. We know lawyers argue, and when lawyers finish arguing, they go for lunch. The reason is they argue on issues. They don't just argue for arguing's sake. So this is September 3rd, the 12th of September. It's a virtual. These programs are all virtual, and we're encouraging you to be part of it. Again, you go to the website, www.michaelatstewart.com, in order to register. Marriages are not broken, people are. That one is $350. It's going to be a wonderful program. You don't have to be married for it, but you could be studying marriage, or you could be contemplating marriage, or you were married. Then you should register for it. This is the 17th of September. So we have the 3rd, the 12th, and now the 17th of September. Same place, www.michaelatstewart.com. I hope that you will not delay and go there and make sure you register. You may want to give it as a gift to a couple who are in a relationship and you want them to get it right. The reason why marriages don't work is not because the institution of marriage is faulty. It's because of the people who enter into it. I believe that, and I would like you to also accept that as a given. Okay, so we're back down now. Okay, the telephone number is on the screen. It is That is 868, sorry, Mike at Night, which is 868-688-5363. You can call us at WhatsApp. You can also message us on WhatsApp. But we want to hear what you think. So the first question I want to ask you people, you goodly people out there, do you believe that marriage, do you believe that infidelity is contagious? Do you believe that infidelity is contagious? All right. So let me go and find out who's on the live tonight. Acknowledge you. And I want you to also answer the question. Let me see. Alice John, thank you very much for being on. Nice having you. Orville Melville, good evening to you. And let me see. Beatrice in Paul. Elon Gordon, your usual people. Glad to see all of you all. Wilma Hamlet. Yes. Tell me, do you believe it is contagious? Do you believe that you could be in a relationship, somebody did not want to be unfaithful, but they end up being unfaithful for one reason or the other? This is going to be an interesting revelation. Because people say, no, not me, I not in that, and so on. It is up to a person to make sure, to determine who they are. We hear that. We hear that. I hear that. You hear that. All right. So answer the question there, please, people. I'm giving you all a little while to get yourself together. Suzette, Neptune, Fortune, thank you very much for logging in. Do you believe that infidelity is contagious? All right. Beatrice, yeah. Lenora Francis, good evening to you. Josiane, all of you great people. Do you believe it is contagious? All right. So while you're all thinking about it, let me go and give you that there's a study that came out in August. The 17th of August, this study was published. In what year? That's what you ask? What year? All right. Listen to the year. 2022. Just less than a month ago, this publication came out. Determining, they did a research to find out whether infidelity is contagious. That's why I want you to tell me, what do you think? What do you think this study revealed? Is it contagious? Can somebody be influenced to be unfaithful? Yes. Makini John, good evening to you. Judith John, good evening. Lyndon Jofield, nice. Good having you. And somebody, why is it you all not answering? Is it that I'm looking at the wrong place? I want you all to say, tell me, what do you all think? Is either yes or no? Support your answer. Makini, you usually vocal. Tell me what you think. Lamimi says a sickness and contagious. Okay. Come on, people. You all give me your ideas. Give me your feelings. Give me your feelings. Is it contagious? Wendy Norton, good evening. Is infidelity, could somebody, Makini said, only if the thought is already existing can it be. So is it that all of those people, we have high rate of infidelity. Is it that all those people who have committed infidelity thought of it? Well, of course, you must think anything you're going to do, it must pass your thoughts first. But is it that they plan to, thought about it? Glenda Allen says, no, it's not contagious. Charmaine said she answered in the poll already. All right, and don't forget to answer the poll, by the way. Carol says, I don't believe it's contagious. If people are in happy and a peaceful relationship, they are unlikely to be unfaithful, even if they may have friends that are unfaithful. I also don't believe that people steal people. Okay. Nice. Thank you, Carol. Interesting. Veronica, good evening to you. All right. Let me see. So Carol is saying she does not believe it is contagious if you're in a happy relationship. Do you know of people who are in happy relationships and infidelity took place? One, you thought that they were happy, and two, they thought they were happy. I could think of a couple. They were like as though they were made for each other. She's beautiful, he's handsome. She is progressive, he is visionary. I mean, they always seen together, laughing, talking, enjoying. They're both professionals in their own rights, in the same profession, by the way. And I was shocked when they were divorced. I was really, really shocked. They themselves, in speaking with the people themselves, they said that they were happy. They were happy like lark. But yet the relationship still did not make it. I wonder what causes that. I wonder. Okay, people, we're still asking you to answer. Some of you waiting for you to come out and then say, give your answers, so that is what you thought of all the time. I don't want that. I want you to give it from now. Oh, 82% of person says, no, it's not contagious. Thank you very much, Sydney. Yeah, 18% of person says it is contagious. Very, very interesting. And that is just the poll there for now. Continue to answer the poll. I don't know if the poll is now closed. Is it possible? Okay, the poll is still open, but this is the current poll statistic. Orville said it is not contagious. However, one can be easily influenced. It's possible. Okay. No, it cannot be. Everyone has their own mind. Even when you look at religious people who taught to be so connected with God, you see that and all taking place in the church community, in relationships that are supposed to be guided under spiritual rubric. You are also seeing infidelity. Is it that these people are so wayward and wicked that they are unfaithful? Or is there some measure that unfaithfulness influences some of these people to make the decision that they make? Okay. All right. So let me give you now. Let me begin to read out for you this study that I felt was very interesting. One of the things that I think we have to acknowledge, Josiah said, if unfaithfulness is contagious, then everything, whether good or bad, is contagious also. Well, do you think that things that are good or bad is also contagious? Contagious, meaning that it spread from one person to the next. That somebody has the flu and they are close to you. They are in your space. You could get the flu from them. If they were not anywhere near you, then you're not going to get it. So Sydney is saying, doesn't the Bible say that evil company corrupts good morals? Now we get some reality coming along. Now we get into some reality there. Sydney? You're on point there. Yep. It's the inability to feel fulfilled. All right. So you could catch the flu from somebody who is near you who has the flu. If you have, as in a pandemic, an epidemic, a number of people around you with the flu, you are likely to get it. You don't have to get it, but you are likely to get it because it is generally around you. If you yawn, you didn't plan on yawning, but somebody yawns around you, you are likely to yawn also. Can be contagious. So here's what this study says from the 17th of August 2022. It's very, very recent. So, good evening, Sheila Hussain. And if you are first time, just let me know you are first time. Just write in the chat first time listener or first time viewer. Here's what it said. They did a study and they put one set of persons in a space to do this experiment. And in that environment, these are people who are smoking, marijuana, drinking, and so on. They all accept smoking, drinking, carousing, infidelity. All of them accept it. And they think this is normal. And they put people inside of them who were in relationships. What they found is that, well, I will tell you in the end. In the next experiment, what they did also is put people who were not they themselves were not in the infidelity, but they put them where they could read what others wrote about their infidelity. They can also hear reports of persons in situations of infidelity. So, after having pulled all of this together, one is a set of people doing it, and a next set of people who claim to be doing it. They process the thoughts of these people. They put probes on them to see who would have thought about doing what they saw or heard. They also looked at their behavior towards it. They also looked at if some of them were in committed, intimate relationships, and prior to that, did not have any issues with infidelity because the relationship was sound. Here's what the experiment revealed. They said that this was the result of the experiment. One, those exposed to the infidelity of others, those who witnessed and saw infidelity taking place, they were less committed in their own relationship and desired by their thought. They started to fantasize being unfaithful, because remember they were tracking their thoughts. Another thing that they found is that where it is commonly accepted in a group that infidelity is normal, then there are people who were borderline, who they were in relationships, did not want to do it, but they already were predisposed to being unfaithful, be that because they came out of it and settled down in a relationship now and doing well in it, or they may have been in situations where they may have had parents who were unfaithful, and they were children who grew up and witnessed it and so on, but they were borderline. And it showed that they became or were poised to become unfaithful. Wow. Carol is asking if the results show a difference between men and women, and was it higher in one or the other? I really didn't look at that. I need to go through that research paper again and determine that. I can't remember reading that one. But that's a good question to see who might be more susceptible to being unfaithful. What they did show is that the exposure to people who are unfaithful, and even if these people are not unfaithful, but the exposure to knowing that people reported on infidelity made those who were not unfaithful influenced into it. Here's what I also learned. This became very very graphic to me. If you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend who their friends are unfaithful, and you have an event and the person brings to that event a different partner from the one that you know that they are with, and the group accepts it, there's likeliness based upon this report that this friend or this partner that you have and who has those type of friends may, if they are not already involved in infidelity, are likely to become unfaithful to you. Now they may be saying, I'm not in that, it's my friends, and not just because my friends and them doing it, I have to do it. That's what the report is saying. Even though they may not be doing it, they have a propensity to do it. Because what makes us friends in the first place? What makes friends friends? I'll tell you what makes friends friends. Common things. We have things in common. That is what makes us friends. What makes us enemies is that we have things that we are polarized. We have things uncommon. That is what makes us enemies. I don't agree with this. I'm not in the same situation with it, and that makes us enemies. Even that has us uncommon also technically makes us common. So if you have gangs warring, they are warring because of an uncommon issue. But what makes them common is that they are warring factions. You all get me? So, Charmaine said confidentiality makes us good friends. The fact that we keep in each other's secret. I know you're unfaithful. I'm not going to tell your girlfriend. I'm not going to tell your boyfriend, and we keep that as a secret. But the fact that you are my friend and we seem to accept it means that there is a high chance that your friend is going to contemplate it at some point in time and likely succumb to it. So when you have in a church people who are generally unfaithful, and you have in a church where it is accepted almost, where it is untouched, unspoken about, it is not dealt with, it's not approached, because the leadership, the pastors don't want to upset anybody for them to stop coming, but people are doing it at will. They live in common law, and they're coming in church and they're doing things. There's a likely chance that more and more people will adopt the behavior. So that's the second thing that I've learned from it. One is, if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and their friends are unfaithful, there's a high chance your partner is going to become unfaithful from this study. 2, if it is common in your environment The people you are around, whether it is in your church, in a political party, in your non-profit organization, your business, and so whatever it becomes commonly accepted, you are likely to become subject to that which is common. That's why some people, when there is a situation where they feel their integrity is compromised, they leave. Because they leave because they become like the rest. If your friends that you are liming with putting down robbery, there's a high chance that if these are your friends and you continue to be friends with them, that you are going to likely put down a robbery or be inclined to put it down. So I don't want people to say that you will and you have to, but I'm saying you're inclined. Lyndon says, birds of a feather flock together. Absolutely right. That is what happens. And that scripture that Sydney posted, evil company corrupt good morals. You can't get away from that. That is what happens whenever you get into a situation like that. Remember, there was a gentleman in the Old Testament. He had a sister named Tamar, the son of David, and he was in love with his half sister. And though he was in love with her, he never made any attempt to interfere with his sister. His friend influenced him and said, boy, you're looking so mager and lovesick. Why don't you tell your father to let your sister bring cakes for you? You go and look, pretend that you're not feeling well, and let your sister bring cakes for you. And then you will have her all to yourself. His friend influenced him. And the story goes that he ended up raping her. And in the end, the Bible says the hate he had for her was more than the love he originally had for her. And he had loved her so much that he was becoming lovesick. That's how it happened. He's a friend. So friends have a way of influencing us. And we like to think that, no, I'm my own man. I make my own decisions and so on. We are not superhuman. All of us are influenced by somebody. I guarantee you that. All right. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we want to hear more from you. What do you think? Do you think that infidelity is contagious? And if you have a question, post it on the Facebook Live. Let's address them. If you don't agree with me, say you don't agree. You don't have to agree with everything I say. I am just reading this report of the research from August 17th, 2022. I didn't call it people and them name who did the research because all of them name hard for me to pronounce. So I did not bother see that. But I'm telling you, that's the date of the publication. Let's go to a break. We'll be right back.
Don't let the weather of the day dictate your pace. I stayed cool every time I got into my vehicle, and you can too. At Tow School Center of 31 Gaskin Bay Road, Bonaccord, they specialize in auto air conditioning with parts and services catering to your car's needs. Call and ask for tows at 660-8777 or 788-3535. Tow School Center, where a comfortable ride is a cool ride.
All right, remember we have this program coming up, a virtual workshop on procrastination. Did you know that students are among the highest procrastinators? I'm telling you. You have an exam coming up, you have assignments to do, you dilly-dally until the last minute. Procrastination sets you back in life and in your health. Some people have been planning to go on a nice, good eating practice. They have not made it yet. Every time they see food that they shouldn't be eating, they gobble it down. So whether you're young or old, this workshop is for you. It is just $50 US or $350 TT. Please go to the website. The program is on September 3rd. The website is www.michaelatstewart.com. Put the AT between the Michael and Stewart. michaelatstewart.com. Remember that. Yep. Let's go to the next one. There we have this one. This is a free workshop, How to Argue Properly. That is September 12th, 7 p.m. And same place you go, www. You must register in order to get the Zoom link. This is also a virtual workshop. This is also going to help those of you who have always been getting into argument, having to apologize. You and your spouse, you and your partner, you and your friend, you and your co-worker, you and your neighbor keep falling out. This is going to help you. Yes, go there and register even tonight. And then we have this one coming up. Marriages are not broken, people are. This is a fact. The institution of marriage is good. Many times the institutions are good. The people that make up that institution is bad. The police service is a good service. The police institution is a good institution. It's the policemen in it and the policewomen that you have to work on. Right? So don't think that the institution is broken. People are broken. And if you are contemplating marriage or you are married and you want to get healing in it, you can do that and register. Same place, www.michaelatstewart.com. And let me tell you, if you're looking for counseling, private and confidential counseling, you can just call my number, which is the number that you use for here. You can call that 868-688-5363. Or you can go to the website and fill out the appointment form, and we will be able to hook up with you to provide private counseling on relationships and otherwise. Your life coach is right here. I'm Michael Stewart. Okay, so let's see now. Sheila Hussain said, I'm married and separated. From my experience, I know for sure that lust leads to infidelity. This is something that the churches needs to address. Just deviating a little. No, you're not deviating. You're on point, Sheila. Yeah, lust, people lust. But there is something that triggers the lust. And what triggers the lust? Something that is a cue. The person who has their first sexual encounter, if they tell you they were influenced to have that first sexual encounter. And sometimes their friend also said, I start having sex. And the person who did not consider having sex before contemplates it because their best friend said that they start having sex. That's how people also, when I talk to people who are on drugs and got hooked on drugs, they say an uncle said he takes it and he enjoys it. A friend, a partner said that he takes it, shares it. And what that caused is the person to now contemplate, probably I should try it. That's how it is. Yep. Could be influenced, yes, not contagious. Well, okay, Veronica said that you could be influenced but not contagious. Contagious means that it has what the person is doing, the flu that the next person has, you have that same flu. And the person could be influenced, but they are influenced in the area of infidelity. So they are unfaithful. You are likely to become unfaithful. That's the contagiousness of it. John Donaldson, I believe that it is contagious, but as is the case with diseases, people have different levels of resistance to it. That's right. So some people can be able to ride it through. Some people recover from it. And not everybody catches the flu. So, yeah, I agree with John Donaldson with that. So you have the reason why you inoculate against it, diseases, etc., is to build up your immune system because you are predisposed to it. You are likely to get the flu. And the reason why we inoculate against infidelity, because we are likely to become unfaithful. We live in a society, my dear people, my dear, nice, righteous thinking people. We live in a society where sex and unfaithfulness is common. Fidelity is now taboo. That is fidelity, is taboo. Infidelity is the in thing. The songs promote it. Even from long time, me and Mrs. Jones, we have a thing going on. Yeah. So we have that song. We have songs that says, I'm in love with a woman. Well, I don't have all the words, but anyway. But the songs promote infidelity. Or carnival songs, wine on a bumper, any bumper, just find a bumper, grab something and run. So it promotes it. So when you are in a society, when it is so prevalent, there's a high chance will be prevalent even in the church. It will be prevalent with people generally, because we are not immune to it. We are not going to hold as high a standard and be as stoic and be as resistant to it, because it is common. And that is what happens every time a society accepts something that is not natural. So now, when you look at, we have leaders who have always been held up in high esteem, presidents, prime ministers, etc. And as somebody posted recently, long time you never hear anything about so many of these leaders as being unfaithful, and some of the things that you're hearing today are now leaders themselves are divorcing while in office and remarrying while in office. That's what is happening. So it becomes common in the society. Don't think that you are so strong, so well brought up and so stable. That is not going to affect you. It's going to affect everybody. You don't have to do it. You may not do it. But here's what this research says. The thoughts cross a person's mind. And for those who just joined us, we are talking about a study that is at 17th of August, publication 2022, that talks about if you see somebody unfaithful, if you even hear them mention about being unfaithful, and this is common, it is accepted in the environment, in the group, then the infidelity is likely to take place with you also. Not have to, but likely. Let's go to the screen and let's hear what people are saying. Charmin said, not necessarily take. For instance, I have a family who drinks and I will be in their presence and never drink. Okay. So remember we said that not everybody, and I thank you very much, Charmin, for sharing that. Not everybody will be in the case. I know, just as how she said that she knows of that situation, but I know people who drink Gramaxone, drink poison, and they do not die. They survived it. I am not going to recommend it just because somebody did it. Why? Because the majority of people die from it. That's a fact. So in this situation, if you are liming with friends and your friends living a certain life, you are not very far from adopting their life. Birds of a feather flock together. All right. Let's go now to Candice Alexander says, Secret Lovers is one of those quotes. Yes, there's a song, Secret Lovers. Secret Lovers is one of those quotes and of love songs. But when you listen, it really is about infidelity. It is. Many of the songs are about infidelity that you listen to. Sparrow sang a song. Hear what Sparrow song said. That is all, that is all, that is all. You know that song? He said, when you see me hand under her dress, it's because I was checking to see if she had, I think it was a weapon. And that is all, that is all. And when you see he hand down inside her chest, and he also says, when he threw himself on top of her, it was because it had a set of bees that he was trying to protect her from. All kind of things. And he said, and that is all, that is all, that is all. And he's saying that he's not going to be unfaithful to her. It's people trying to mash me up, etc. Yes. Many of our songs are something with that. So it is norm. It is normal. Now we have celebrities promoting infidelity. Where did you think we got the word entanglement from? A celebrity who's saying, you married, I'm married. But we must be individual enough that you should know that I should have somebody outside and you should not have a problem with it. And you can go and have somebody outside and not have somebody entanglement. And then we have friends with benefits. Two people not married, they're not in a relationship. But they just need a nunks. They need to be able to get some sexual relief. They just call up this friend. They're not in a relationship. They're not in anything. They're just good friends. Hey, listen, pass and give me a release now. And the person pass. Friends with benefit. It's becoming normal. And more, you are trying to protect your children and think because you bring them up in church that they are not going to be affected. Look at how they argue for what the world is doing and what people are doing that becomes normal in society. The mind can never travel very far, said Veronica. Okay. All right. So, and let me go back to Charmaine's that the person drinks and she doesn't drink. And I'll tell you what I have in the sessions that I do with people in counseling. Somebody would say, but they have never been one to drink. 15, 20 years, they never take strong drink. But their friend drinks, but they have never been, they would buy drinks, but they don't drink it. But they provide for their friends. Some people would also say that when they go out, the friends will toast with drink, they don't. They will take something soft. Friends would offer to buy them things and they don't. They will take something soft for years. And then a major issue hit them. Major issue hit them. Such as their partner left them, the house burned down, something so. And you know what they tell me? What they went to as their mental support was drink. Why did they choose that? Because they were already exposed to their friends that is where they go. So now that they have now hit a hard point in their life, they do exactly what their friends do. And they all the time never used to do it. Okay, let me see what else we have here. So you all understanding? But still answer the poll question. I wonder if anybody beginning to change their mind who said no. Or you all still holding on to it that you still say no. Yes. What causes a man, if these things are not contagious, what causes a boy 4 years old seeing his father beating his mother, cries, screams, watching his father beating his mother? He's 7 years old. And he rushes to his father, holds on to his father's legs to pull his father off of his mother, while the father beats his mother, screaming and crying, but he cannot overpower the father. He's 10 years old. He takes his hand and he tries to thump his father. He takes a piece of wood and tries to hit his father, but he cannot hit him hard enough at 10 years. His father is still hitting him. And by the time the boy is 16, 17, 18 years old, he gives his father a good whipping the next time he's hitting his mother. He's strong enough. He overpowers his father. The father now is not as confident that he can afford to be beating his mother and not keep his eye out for the 17-year-old young man who could very well hit him very hard with an instrument, because the young boy does not believe in what his father is doing. But he's now 25, 30 years old and he's married. And his wife does or says something that upsets him. And he hits his wife. The same young man who never agreed with it. Where did he get that from? Contagious. He was exposed to it. And when the circumstances are right, you become vulnerable to it. That's what this study is showing. That's what this study is showing. Sheila Hussain says Christians need to remember that the white lives are not patterned after the world. That is why the Bible says, come out from among them. It is, I accept, I agree with what Sheila is saying. But you can't stay in it and say that I'm a Christian and I am not structured by the world. The Bible says, come out from among them and be separated, said the Lord. Because once you stay there, it will be contagious. Just as if somebody, Paul says to people in the Bible, be followers of me as I am of Christ. Why? If you stick around Paul, you're going to be able to be influenced. His relationship with Christ will be contagious to you. And so therefore you can now follow Christ. But out of evil and good, which one is more contagious? You all answer that. Evil and good, which one is more contagious? Which one is easily caught? I'm looking out for all the answers here. Which one is more easily caught, evil or good? At least I'm waiting on you all. You have a good person, you have a bad person, you have a Christian, you have a non-Christian. Who has a greater influence on somebody else? All right, evil. That's right. So if you have somebody who thinks that they are righteous and unfaithfulness is wrong, but they are surrounded by people who think that infidelity is common, nothing wrong with that, then that is what you're going to end up getting. You know, I speak with some young people and I hear a girl says she is what, 16, 15, 16. And she says, I don't see why if a guy asks her for sex and he is willing to pay her, it's just like any job, she says. I don't see why I can't give him sex and he just pays me. It's just sex, she says. Where she got that from? Where did she get that from? She didn't invent that. There's something around her that says to her, this is normal. And she has accepted that as a given. So all a guy needs to say is, listen, I'm willing to pay her $20. Give me sex. and she sees it as a business transaction. She says, just sex is not as though I love him. Yeah. We must remember who we are and whose we are. Yes, it is easier to do evil. Evil is easier done. It is easier for us to be influenced by evil. That is why we should not surround ourselves with people who make something that we believe is wrong as normal. Why do you think when there is a robbery that's taking place, the group, the people who hang around the robber become suspects of the police? Now, no, they don't have no evidence, but this person is a robber. This person is a known robber to the police. But these are his group of friends. Automatically, it will be foolhardy of the police not to also wonder. I'm not saying that they need to victimize or anything like that, but they must wonder whether his friends are part of it, because they influence each other. Don't let's be naive, my dear people. All right, we have 5 more minutes. Share your ideas, share your thoughts on the site. We're going to make one more commercial break before we go on. Tell me, have you changed your mind, or you still have your same mind concerning is it contagious or not contagious? Contagious means somebody else has it and you have a predisposition for it. Contagious. So just because a disease is contagious does not mean that you have it. But it does mean that you are capable of getting it. Yeah, because that person has it. Let me explain. So, let's take, for example, having gray hair is not contagious. Just because somebody has gray hair next to you doesn't mean that you'll get it. You'll get gray hair. It's not contagious. But the things that you are susceptible to because somebody else has it is what makes it contagious. And the study is saying people who are unfaithful and they are your closest people, they are in your environment. If you are living in a society where this society accepts this, the reason why you find places like Jamaica and Trinidad and all of that, crime is high, is because the society has a crime rate. And as children grow up and they hit 16, 15, 16, 17, boys especially, they adopt what society has. Whereas in some places outside where there is a low crime rate, China, there are some places, I think in China or somewhere, they said that the respectability for elders is of such a high rate that their crime rate is low. And as children grow up, all they manifest is what the society reflects. That's the reality. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Don't let the weather of the day dictate your pace. I stayed cool every time I got into my vehicle, and you can too. At Tow School Center of 31 Gaskin Bay Road, Bonaccord, they specialize in auto air conditioning with parts and services catering to your car's needs. Call and ask for tows at 660-8777 or 788-3535. Tow School Center, where a comfortable ride is a cool ride.
All right, I've got to remind you about this program on procrastination. And if you have not gone yet, go to the site now to register for procrastination. Do not procrastinate, plan into, and don't. And let me tell you, if the people around you procrastinate, that is contagious. If you are a student and you lime in with students, your friends, that they don't take their studies seriously and their homework and all of that, and they're playing first with games and they're on Facebook and they're playing all sorts of things on their television set and leaving their work for last minute, there's a high chance you're going to do it too. Procrastination. We're asking you to go and register for the program, www.michaelatstewart.com. Just remember that. How to argue properly, that's another program that we have coming up. That one is free, of course, and we're asking you to go there, and you could get many of your issues resolved because of that. Yeah, www.michaelatstewart.com. That is September 12th. September 3rd is the first one that we just spoke about there, procrastination. September 12th is how to argue properly. And on September 17th is marriages are not broken, people are. That one is coming up on the September 17th. You just also goes www.michaelatstewart.com. All right. We did that already, my boy Sydney. All right. Let me see what Charmin is saying. It was in the Philippines, the young people have plenty respect for the elders. That's right. It is the Philippines. Thank you very much. Your social studies up to par, Charmin. They cross the road. When you stop a car in the Philippines for children to stop to cross the road, children, and they get to the other side, they turn around and bow. And then they move off. That bow is a sign of respect. Here, you stop to let somebody cross the road, they will cross the road and they will not even flash an eye at you. They will not raise their hand to say thank you. They're not going to, you stop to let another car come out, they will not even toot their horn. Them don't care. Because that's what is norm in this society. But not there. Veronica, you get a good quote there. Show me your friends and I will tell you who you are. See? So I'm telling you, based on what we've learned tonight, don't think for a moment that because your friends say his friends have a set of woman, or your girlfriend friends have a set of man, that your friend is so pristine necessarily. You watch it. When the going gets rough, the rough gets going. You could end up in a shock situation because what a person accepts, they are likely to become. That brings us down to the end of the program for tonight. Take it into consideration. 70% of people say it is not contagious. 30%, well, we have increased now. It reduced. Before it was 80% says no. Now 30% we have increased to 30% of people say yes, it is contagious. 70% said no. Thank you very much, and let me thank my director, Sidney Jones, for doing an able job once more. Had a chance to fellowship with Sydney in Tobago recently. It was great seeing him. Yep, tall, handsome young man. Led us in some songs and so on. So I want to say that it was a pleasure having to be with him for that short period of time here on the island. See you all next week, Thursday. Same time, 9 o'clock for Mike at Night. You go now, and we'll see you next week.
The weather of the day dictate your pace. I stayed cool every time I got into my vehicle, and you can too. At Tow School Center of 31 Gaskin Bay Road, Bonaccord, they specialize in auto air conditioning with parts and services catering to your car's needs. Call and ask for tows at 660-8777 or 788-3535. Tow School Center, where a comfortable ride is a cool ride.